Welcome to my channel, because subscribing is forever free, so please help subscribe. And don't forget to like, and comments too, thanks.
Quotes about coffee, funny, inspiring and full of meaning. Reading these coffee quotes can motivate you to live life positively. Before doing activities, many people start their day by sipping a cup of coffee. As well as being calming, this bitter drink is considered to be inspiring and uplifting in its own right. Coffee is, indeed, one of the most popular drinks. In fact, there are so many coffee lovers, it's easy to find communities, to coffee cafes for gatherings with friends. Not infrequently, various words of coffee quotes are also often ejected from coffee lovers. The words of their coffee quotes are somewhat inspirational, but some are wrapped in humor. By reading and understanding the words of coffee quotes, it can motivate you to live life positively. Not only about life, these coffee quotes also have a deep meaning about stories of love, longing, and so on. Until it is suitable for status on social media. So, here's a collection of meaningful words, quotes, copies from various sources. Humans have the same degree, in God's eyes, and everyone has the same rights. It's like coffee, which never chooses who gets to enjoy it. When you wake up, without not a cup of coffee, you feel like one of the food chains is missing. My journey will never end, like coffee that never stops inspiring me about a journey. Life is like a cup of coffee, where bitter and sweet meet in warmth. Life is like drinking coffee, sometimes it tastes bitter, but that's what makes your eyes open. Life is like a cup of coffee, you need to add sugar to make it sweet. Because from coffee we learn that bitter taste can be enjoyed. You don't like coffee, and are familiar with tea. Meanwhile, I am too synonymous with coffee, with all its bitterness. The perfection of coffee, taste comes from its bitter taste. Therefore, bitter memories will shape us better in the future. Framing the morning to color the sun, don't forget to share the day with a glass of coffee, so that the heart becomes a rainbow tonight. The rain is getting worse, and will add to the impression of coffee, as a heart reliever when it's cold rain. Need to add a cup of coffee, to treat your failure to understand. When words don't talk much anymore, a cup of coffee can be an intermediary, and break the ice. Inspired by a cup of coffee, that he never lies in the name of taste. Coffee has a story, black is not always dirty, bitter doesn't have to be sad. Learn to be sincere with the sugar, in a cup of coffee, he is willing not to be called, even though he removes the bitterness itself. Good coffee will always find its connoisseurs. Ben Coffee Philosophy. Not yet, I'm not as sweet as you think, but not as bitter as they say. If you don't like it, my coffee is simple. Your coffee is getting cold, enjoy it. Problems are, like sugar stirred in a cup of coffee, the longer you stir it, and it continues to dissolve, the sweeter it will be with every sip. Coffee and cigarettes are a perfect pair, don't let fried bananas get in between them. Man is only a connoisseur, whether he is a connoisseur of bitter or sweet, or perhaps he is a connoisseur of both. Believe me, Everything has its own pleasures, like night and coffee. The thickness of this drink sometimes makes people captivated and want to drink it. However, his perception will change when he looks at the dense world. He is reluctant to approach it. Coffee teaches us that life is not always sweet, but there is bitterness too. If your coffee is too sweet, try drinking it while reminiscing about the past. It might help. The similarity of my life with coffee is that coffee will not be sweet without sugar, and so will my life. My life will be bitter without you. Life sometimes needs light, and even trivial things like instant coffee. Men are like a cup of coffee. They are strong, warm, and will always take care of you both, day and night. Should I kill myself or drink a cup of coffee? If it is coffee, bring me tea. But if it is tea, bring me coffee. Abraham Lincoln. Mixed bitter and sweet is a pleasure, like coffee served warm or cold. Add sugar if it's too bitter or warm if it's too cold. That's how life is. We ourselves determine the level of enjoyment by remaining grateful for the blessings God has given. Harry Umbo. More or less, every fortune needs to be celebrated with a cup of coffee. Joko Panerbo. Apparently, getting up early is a grunt killer. Because we have time for a cup of coffee, a cup of daydream, and a bit of longing. Fiersa Bisari. Be like coffee this morning. Even though alone, it gives peace and endless inspiration. Don't rush into something, just enjoy what's there, like drinking coffee. This coffee is bitter, but if you drink it while looking at yourself, this coffee tastes sweet. Coffee without sugar is honest coffee. I'm waiting for us at the same table, accompanied by coffee, with different aromas, talking about dreams, chatting about plans. We can start with a ring, that maybe it's time to be on our finger, so that love doesn't stop as a discourse. You are the peak coffee of my night, beloved, bitter and dark without tears. Sujuo Teju. Coffee is perfect for its bitterness. So is love. Maman Surman.